Hello and welcome to Gender Agenda, and my name is Adora Sidney Jack. Thank you for joining us again today, and like we always say, you would see our social media handles right there on your screen for you to reach out to us, give us your feedback, and perhaps suggest some conversations that we may be able to have here for your delight. And yes, January is fast, isn't it? We're already come to the end of January and now going into February, and it's going to be quite an interesting month. Today on Gender Agenda, we'll be looking at inclusive development. Remember, inclusive development is built on understanding that every individual and community deserves a right to participate. You are looking at diverse communities, you're looking at diverse identities and experiences. But what's important is how these development is enabled by those who are the facilitators within those spaces. And last week we talked about women in STEM, people in science, prone jobs doing great things. We saw the e-mobility conversation with Mrs. Chisom Wankwo, with the Sweeney mobility conversation, which we will see highlights of the training sometime in the show on our About Now. But on today's program, we'll be speaking to Princess Nwakego Ibrahim Palm. Princess Nwakego Ibrahim Palm is an educationist, she's an employer, a trainer, and an administrator. She also specializes in one of the areas that is quite close to my heart, early childhood education and parental involvement. And she's known for her tremendous work with the special needs children across the world, not just here in Nigeria, but in Korea, in Tunisia, and is a therapist around the world as well, especially when it comes to speech therapy. She's also done great work under this conversation in the Netherlands and the Tunisia, like I mentioned. She is the president of the Expert Professional and Business Women's Network. On today's program, we'll be having a conversation with her. She will be talking to you. We spoke to her earlier on in the week, and she was able to give us the privilege and insight of her life, the work that she does, especially the new project that is going to be looking at not just women, but also looking at children with special needs. And before we get there, we'll take quickly a skedaddle to Women in the News About Now, and we'll come back to you to the interview where she will be bringing you highlights of that interview. Stay with us. Over 300 coalition of women groups across the country have raised the alarm over the arrest and prosecution of 30 women in Nasarawa State, among others for exercising their rights to protest against alleged instigated miscarriage of justice in the Nasarawa gubernatorial election of 2023. The decision of the Supreme Court, which upheld the results as declared. In a joint press statement, the coalition under the umbrella of international law, Gender and Development Action-GADA and Policy in Africa Network, Center for Good Governance and Accountability, Center for Economic Empowerment and Gender Activities, and others said the prosecution of these 30 women shows the failure of the Nigerian Police Force and the Government of Nasarawa State in Nigeria to uphold the citizen and the rights of the citizens under the 1999 Constitution as amended to protest, assemble, and freely express themselves. According to the coalition, these women were nude, demonstrating clearly that they were both committed to peaceful protest and unarmed. It is a travesty to then accuse them of being violent when in fact they were the people violated by the attack from the uniformed personnel, including with projectiles. In their words, security agents, nearly all of them male, assaulted, beat up, shot at, and seriously injured some of these women in clear violation of the Constitution and in full public view. Project Free Nasarawa 30 is a national and non-partisan coalition comprising of civil rights, citizens journalists, rights organizations, and international advocacy and solidarity groups demanding the immediate release of the Nasarawa 30, a group of women currently in jail over no crime they committed, even as contained in the unacceptable charges filed by the current Nasarawa state government against these women for exercising their rights to assemble and express themselves. Project Free Nasarawa 30 rejects in totality the tactics and aggression against these women and calls for the immediate review of their bail conditions to grant them freedom without the culture of punitive bail terms that have been unethically and wrongly adopted by the current judicial bench to justify empty allegations against the Nasarawa 30, they said. The group said an attack on the Nasarawa 30 is an attack on all women across the globe. On our About Now today, we go to the e-mobility training by the Skilled Women Initiative, which held on 30th January 2024. The objective of this was the goal of providing participants with the information and abilities needed to successfully traverse the quickly changing field of electric mobility. Well, it recognized the basics of e-mobility technology. This entailed investigating battery technology, charging infrastructure, and electric vehicle components. The training equipped participants with valuable knowledge and insights to contribute to the transition towards a cleaner and more sustainable transportation future. Here are the highlights.
So this is the charging box. It's home charging. Charges for 6 to 8 hours, and you can go for 200 kilometers. And it's really very fast. So good capacity. Okay. And all of that. So that's it.
My name is Princess Wakego Ibrahim Pam. I'm a human development advocate. I'm an author, a best-selling author. I'm a trainer, an educationist, a speech therapist. I'm an inspirational speaker. I'm a business entrepreneur. And above all, I'm a mother and I'm a wife. When I'm being asked to talk about myself from a particular point of view, it's a bit complicated because everything I do is connected in one way or the other. The book Beneath is an empowerment project of the Expert Professional and Business Women's Network International. This was a network that I started in 2013 in Tunisia.